Hi and welcome everyone. This is an edition of the Venus Dreaming Divining Hour, and my name is Edie. I'm a psychic medium, and I'm going to be doing some tarot readings this evening. And what we're going to be talking about is the sexual power between soulmates within this reading. So there's much energy to contend with at this time, especially with the pre-shadow Mercury retrograde coming in. Mercury retrograde is coming in on Halloween. And so there's some guidance for us in the journey of the soulmate. I'm going to concentrate tonight specifically just on soulmates. However, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we grow into different stages of those things. So we'll see what the cards have to say for us. First of all, individually, I'm feeling. So we're going to begin with the sign of Aries. And I'm sort of sensing, you know, a whole bunch of different cards wanting to come out at once. So tell the truth, I think my guides are wanting me to begin with a collective reading. So how about we do that? And sort of the energy I'm sensing. So collectively, we'll just tap into what's happening with us on the astral level. Usually my guides connect in with the soulmate angels. And I'm feeling more that this is where they want me to be concentrating on right now. And so collectively, let's just tap into, woo, yeah. That's maybe a little more what I'm looking for. So collectively, on the dream time, where Venus seems to tap in with us a little bit specifically, here with this is what I'm sensing. We're having a lot of dreams about the different types of things that soulmates are going through. So I'm going to pull this card out right now here so you guys can see it. I'm sensing that for most people it feels like a very loving, good time. However, there is underlying energies I'm feeling of different winds coming in, different change. I see the energy here of movement in all the winds. And so some of you are contemplating some moves. This is what I'm sensing for sure. Within this collective consciousness. We're going to pull a few more cards out here. I feel like there's deep desire. When I look at this card, I feel like there's deep desire for movement and much more prosperity within soulmate relationships. So growing more into a divine union type of energy. And once again here, moving into, we have the Fool, moving into new energies. So I'm sensing entrepreneurial endeavors for the most part here, and moving into them. So those of you who are looking for information, it seems to me the collective consciousness tonight is concentrating on finances, on building wealth, what they can do, and new adventures. We're going to go see what those new adventures might be this coming week. Ooh. So once again, we're talking about money here. So there may be a wanting to be going out. I'm feeling like going out in the community. What may help with bringing the soulmates together at this time is going out in the community. For those of you who are single, I'm sensing with this particular card this next week that going out is important, getting dressed up is important, looking your best is important. All these things when I feel like there's underlying stresses that are going on right now, and it feels like the last thing you want to do, but I feel like it's important for you to do that. As we go into the shadow period here of Mercury retrograde, we're going to want to feel like withdrawing a little bit, because the season that's coming in, the Scorpio season that's coming in, is going to make us want to take cover for a little while. And there's going to be some, I'm feeling like underlying energies of wanting to stay hidden. So this is not the time to be doing that. The cards are telling me that you want to go out and do it. You're going to go out and do it. There's underlying currents of, of not wanting to do it, but you're going to do it anyways. And I'm feeling like your friends and the social aspects of things, your partners, are going to encourage you to go out and do different things. Oh, interesting. For some of you who are into, I'm sort of sensing like different spell works, that sort of thing. You may be dabbling in some energies that are trying to bring in your soulmate. So, I don't feel like per se, like if people are dabbling in this sort of thing, I don't feel per se that it's negative, but I'm going to say be cautious is what I'm going to say. What you wish for, I feel like, is what's going to start to really manifest. The energy of Pluto that has gone direct on the 3rd is going to make wishes come true. So I'm sensing here a bit of caution for those of you who are involved in that sort of thing. Now, let's get a little deeper energy on this, because I'm also sensing maybe some past life energies, hooking into some past life energies here. And there's some 2 cards as soon as I say past life energies. So I'm definitely seeing some sexual magic happen in this energy. Okay, so there's two different things happening here. I'm sensing the feminine energy that who was ever dabbling in this is sort of wanting a more dominant situation, and the males want the same. So I was feeling caution with this. So earlier, whoever is dabbling this, and I'm not saying everybody's doing this, but I just want to say, if you're using sexual magic, that there's nothing wrong with that, but know what you're doing, and not in the reference of dominating another person, but to elevate, sort of, I want to say like elevate the energy to a higher spiritual union. Is what I'm sensing. Venus is wanting everybody to be cautious about here in this particular time. So you don't want to use your will against another person's will if you're working with this kind of magic. And I'm seeing herbs specifically is drawing me out into this energy. So anybody who's doing that type of stuff, I am sensing to be cautious with this kind of thing at this time within your endeavors. I'm also sensing with these energies past life dabblings as well. So if you haven't done this, if you're not into that in this life, I'm sensing that it's very heavily interfering karmically with with past life energies of what you're dealing with right now. So that's quite an interesting situation of why maybe some people at this time is saying, why is my life not the way I want it? I'm doing all the correct things. I have all the correct feelings. I'm sort of sensing this maybe past life energy that people are dealing with, karmic situations that they're cleaning up. So let's just pull out a couple more cards here on the sexual energy aspect of these cards and see what it is that we're dealing with. We have a lot of new beginnings, like a lot of energy about money and about power and about dominance and control. And so I'm seeing the balance starting to come in at the end of the week. So we have, I'm seeing sort of a flow of energy where that within this coming week, so it's today's Wednesday, so within this till next Wednesday, these energies fluctuate between wanting to do a whole bunch of things, going out, dealing with a whole bunch of entertainment situations. And I am seeing some like real like dress up affairs. So some of you may be dealing with that. And within that, there may be some people trying to pull some, I feel like this whole sexual dominance situation is coming in collectively. So you guys may be dealing with that in this next week. You may be having some power struggles as well, what I'm sensing. But in general, I'm feeling when people are going out, it's a very good situation. Now, I'm also sensing that for soulmates, that this particular energy is a good time to be romantic. So if you're feeling that you want to build a closer energy with your romantic partner, I'm feeling like a trip away is the energy of what you're going to be contending with. Now, I just want to keep a little bit of an eye on the time here. I just collectively wanted to tap into what is happening within all of that energy. If you guys have questions that you're dealing with while we're live, you're more than welcome to put them in the comments, and I will do my best to incorporate that energy into what we're contending with within this week. So I wanted one more card here. And I'm also feeling here that the group that I'm talking with is dealing with sort of energies of looking back on somebody who they wanted to be in a relationship with. So there's a couple of different people that are working with here within this group. In particular, people who want to move, people who are dealing with power and dominance control, some with past life situations. That's where it's coming from. There's been some, I would say, past life energy of dabbling with magic, and you may be doing the same in this life. And then I see couples that are having very romantic energy together, and that is key to building up into the higher energies of divine union. I'm also seeing in some situations, the feminine energy is allowing the masculine in those situations to take a little bit more dominant control with you. However, I am also sensing that it's okay to allow yourself to be vulnerable in this situation. So those of you who are in soulmate situations and you're having a little bit of trouble, I feel like now it's going to smooth out over the weekend and into next week, and there'll be much more loving energies that I sense coming in. But I am sensing that the male energy will want more dominant stuff going on in the sexual aspect. The other thing that I'm sensing here is that there's a longing for a past relationship. I feel like there's a group of you who are single, who are dealing with past life energies. I'm sensing that you may have some recollection of sort of sensing like you've been with this person in the past, and there may have been, you feel like, man, what has this person got over me? I'm sensing like a bunch of singles who are like, why do I keep thinking about that person? Like, I just want to let it go. So we're going to go into individual signs now, starting with the sign of Aries. And I'm sensing to pull out the Egyptian tarot cards to work with you guys, because they definitely work with a bunch of the sexual magic. They've created a lot of this for us on the planet. So we have an Aries here. What we're dealing with is the Six of Swords. So when I'm looking at this card for Aries, I'm sensing a lot of definitely past life connections. So what you're dealing with is definitely a past life connection, Aries. And I'm sensing there's distance between the two of you, and you will be traveling towards them. Now, for those of you who are single, I want to touch on that first, Aries. For those of you who are single, I do sense that you are traveling towards them more if you are the masculine energy. If you're the feminine energy, I feel like you're going to be traveling. I feel like they come towards you more. So within this energy of the Six of Swords, I'm sensing that there is some difficulties that you guys have been experiencing, but you're overcoming that for the most part. I also feel here that there's an energy of finances coming in, and within this, and so it seems to me that there's balanced energy. You're going to know that this person is the right person for you by the finances, your particular finances here, Aries, improving. I'm just asking, how else are you going to know? If you're single, how else are you going to know what your soulmate is bringing to you in the sexual aspect and the power within that? And so what I'm sensing is that the power sits in the masculine energy, and there's finances. They have good finances. Your partner has good finances, so they're willing to share that with you, and they're readily willing to share it with you. I don't see that it is there's nothing there that they hold back. And so it may feel a little uncomfortable for you at first, Aries, but I am sensing that it's a good thing to go towards. And you seem to overcome any emotional situation. And there is a element I'm sensing here, Aries, of moving forth into a higher like intellect within that. I feel like if you have deep conversations, then that's what's going to bring out the energy. And they're gonna be very generous with you, and you're gonna be like, why do you always bring it to money? And you don't realize that that's how they're showing their commitment towards you. But I feel like you're very independent within that all at the same time, Aries. So that's something that I'm feeling. Maybe Aries may be tapping into more the beginning of this week to today, tomorrow, touching on money and new endeavors is what I'm seeing. So I dropped a bunch of these cards here. Just a second. I'm feeling the energy of Taurus come in, and it feels quite heavy, to tell you the truth. So whoever's contending with Taurian energy, I feel like they feel maybe very stuck, but they want to go and move. So 3 cards have jumped out, and I'm going to take them because I'm sensing that it is all important here. We have Justice, we have the 6 of Pentacles, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. So that is an amazing amount of good energy, but I'm sensing this energy here of caution as well, Taurus. I am sensing that with the Justice, there may be some of you who are dealing with divorce, contending with divorce, and within that, I feel whoever's going through the divorce, whoever's watching this, the other person is not going to be watching this. I'm going to tell you right now, and they're the ones that are not going to be happy with the money situation. The Taurians are going to be extremely happy with your financial situation if you're going through the divorce. So it's going to be okay and in the end. And I feel like there's been a lot of stress about that. There's where there lay in the stress. And so I feel now for soulmates, for Taurians, they're coming out in a highly sexual energy. And I'm also sensing that they have probably met somebody, kind of their match, and they're kind of putting you, some of the things they're saying here, Taurus, to you, are putting you in a space where you're really thinking and saying, okay, maybe I'll think about this sort of thing. So I'm sensing, Taurus, your partner has more blonde hair, and that's another energy that that's coming in for you to be concentrating on. Also, Taurus, I feel like different events that you're going to be doing are going to bring in the energy of finances and soulmate energy, and you will be working, probably meeting somebody, Taurus, at your workplace. So if you're going to like some fundraising event or like shows, that sort of thing, if you are single, that's the place you want to go. That's the energy that I'm sensing here. And I feel a very passionate, relationship coming in for you. For those of you who are in soulmate energy and with someone, there may be dealings. I'm sort of sensing here that the dealings you're dealing with a house, you're dealing with a move, you're dealing with where are we going to live. I feel like that's what you're contending with here, Taurus. I am also sensing a strong Libra energy here with the Taurus, so I'm not exactly sure what that is concerning, other than I feel like possibly Libra time. There may be some stuff that you're dealing with moving and, you know, dealing with legal issues, making sure that everything is correct. There may be some problems. I'm sensing Taurus with like plumbing and electrical also. So if you're doing that, check those things to make sure that they're good. And I'm also sensing that you're being very, very guided at this time, Taurus, to go into the energy of the dream worlds and to pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are going to have a lot of guidance for you about where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, all those types of things, as I'm sensing very, very strongly, Taurus. So that's a really good energy to be sitting in. All right. So we're going to be going now into the energy of the next sign. So we're going to be going in the energy of Cancer. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Yeah? Feeling a few waves of energy come through you all? This is a very heavy time energetically for soulmates, so I would not be surprised. The energy of Cancer, I'm feeling here, Cancers, that you may be connecting with somebody in the past. I am sensing a coming together on the soulmate energy of, you know, I feel like you're thinking a lot about somebody that you want to be with, Cancer. You're making a decision. I feel like there's choices here, and you're making a clear decision about what it is that you want. I'm feeling like you really have gone inward and thought about it, and it's time now to come out of this energy of the Hermit. And I feel like you're going to express some really strong sexual energy happening at this time. The sexual energy that's coming forth, you know, it seems to be a little exploratory. And I'm also sensing on the male side, if you have a Cancer mate, then there's good. I'm sort of sensing some kinky stuff that they want going on here. So Cancers, you guys are like really wanting. I'm feeling like you know, like threesomes. I'm sort of feeling like you guys are really like into some stuff going on here, and I'm really feeling that energy come in for you. So you may just get what you want here this week. I don't know. I kind of am sensing that, and I feel, but it's very loving all at the same time, and very passionate. So there may be some energy there of experimental energy coming in for you, Cancers, that are contending with all of that. You know, I think I missed Gemini here. I'm all mixed up in the energy. So I'm going to tap into Gemini right now. And with Gemini, I'm sensing a little of the same energy. That's what made me think. My guys are like, you forgot Geminis. Okay, so we have the One of Pentacles. So some of you, I feel, are starting a new job. But it's like you're guided towards this here, Gemini. Interesting. I'm sensing family at this time is also very important to you. You may be contemplating the different types of energy. Hi there, Amy. I haven't reached Leo yet. I did a little bit of a collective read, but I might go more into that later. And Leo I'll come to in a little while. Okay, so right now I'm in Gemini, and I kind of skipped Gemini. I went to Cancer. So I'm on Gemini, and what I'm sensing here is, yeah, there's two different energies going on here. And what I see is when you get your finances together here, those of you who are dealing with a few things, I feel like for the most part you have good things going on here, Gemini. You got your bills paid, all that, but I feel like you're wanting to improve your situation. So some of you may be going back to school. And I feel like, you know, you meet a bunch of different friends, that kind of thing. And I feel through those friends single Geminis, that you're going to meet somebody who is going to start a whole new energy with you, and they may be of a different culture or what you're used to. So that's a little interesting here, Gemini, of what's coming through. It seems very playful to me. The energy seems very playful and friendship and giddy, and like there's banter back and forth between the two of you. So that's a very good energy going on. And for those of you who are in committed relationships, Gemini, I'm sensing that there is much deeper energy that you're feeling about the other person. I'm seeing that you're seeing psychically into them. You're connected. You will finish their sentences. I am seeing that, Gemini, that you will be growing into divine union with this soulmate energy. Pardon me. I'm also sensing how you're going to know that is how the cat in your life behaves with you. They're going to become more playful. I'm not sure what that is about, but that's the message. The cat's going to become more playful, and that's how you're going to know if you're single. But you're the ones that are in this, you're also going to have a cat. The cat is coming out strongly. It's going to guide you and help you with your psychic abilities through the energy of the soulmate energy this week. So the cat may be like laying between you more than usual. I would say that I'm sensing those of you who are coupled, when you have sex, after you have sex, the cat seems to come on the bed more. And there's energy that Gemini, that the sexual angels are working with you, that they're creating an alchemy within that for you to create new forms of energy coming in the Aquarian age is what I'm sensing. So Leo is next here. We're going to tap into some Leo energy. 5 of Wands. So you guys must be going through a very difficult time at this time. I feel like there's some things going around you in your family situation, I'm sensing, for the most part. Not so much in your love life, maybe a little in your love life. There may be some illnesses of people that you're contending with, or you may be having an illness that you're contending with at this time, Leo. There's some battles, you know, there's some real like hard life battles. Like I'm seeing like some serious illnesses. I'm seeing serious deep like family karmic things, but I also am sensing that you overcome this week. This is the week that things start to smooth out. There will be some energies of fluctuation before I feel like at Halloween and also this coming weekend, I am sensing that there may be some like tension, but I feel like it smooths out after the weekend into like the Mercury retrograde period. When you're in the Mercury retrograde period, I feel like that's when all the fights are finished. And I feel like, Leo, that yeah, the blessings, the 9 of Pentacles come down and your money gets better. Okay, so when your money gets better and these arguments are smoothed over, after this, I feel like during this weekend, you may have something planned with somebody here, Leo. However, I don't feel like it's the time to do it yet. I feel like next week is more the time to do it. So maybe on the holiday Monday would be fine. But I feel like over the weekend, you're going to be dealing with some family things, ironing them out. And I feel like you're straightening people out. And you're like, listen, you know, this is how I feel. This is what's happening. And I'm feeling with those of you who are contending with people who are ill or you are ill, there's much compassion there, but I also am sensing that it is great stress as well. So you want a little bit more compassion, or the person who is sick that you're contending with, they also want more compassion. So that is quite an interesting situation that you're dealing with. But I am sensing that there's heavenly, when I look at this, the rays are coming down from the heavens and they're feeling the energy here coming in and pouring gifts on you. So there may be some like financial abundance situations that are coming through here, Leo. Once you contend with this and make peace with this, that's when I see the finances coming in. And that's where I'm seeing that. I just want to kind of pull one more card because I'm sort of feeling like a lone energy more than anything. But I feel like once you get through that, I'm curious because I want to go a little deeper what's going to happen in the week with the soulmate. It's not showing me much about that, but other than the fact that once you contend with it, yeah, it's going to come. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You have the High Priestess, and then you have the Strength card. So when you are in that situation, and you overcome these things, your finances get better, that's where you have the strength to be able to deal with the new soulmate energy coming in. If you are not with someone, if you're with someone, I feel like there's great strength and it ties you to a closer union as well. I'm sensing that for a lot of people this week. There's a lot of romance in like filtering around in the collective consciousness, but yet there's a lot of energy of wanting to be alone all at the same time. So it's a little confusing, and there's fluctuating. One minute you feel like this, next minute you feel like that. So that's sort of what I'm sensing here, Leo, coming in for you. But don't give up on yourself with this. I feel like you're pretty content by yourself, regardless if you're single, but yet you're perfectly fine with starting new energy and contending with what's going on within your life at this time. I do feel like concentrating on your finances is where you're going to find the most peace within your energy field right now. That's sort of what I'm really sensing. And if you look back earlier in the collective reading, you might get a little bit more information about that. If you guys know your, do you guys know your moon and Venus signs other than your first sign? Do you guys know anything about that? I'm just going to wait for you guys to comment if you guys do. If you don't, go to the natal chart that is provided in the information box. And when you do, you fill out your information and you can listen to not just your sun sign. So if your first sign is like a Leo, then we'll just use you, Amy, for example there, because you got your Leo out there. So if you have Leo, you go and you punch in your birth time. You have to know your birth time, and you punch in your birth time in the calculator, and then it will calculate. You just scroll up on the information and you will see all of your placements. So you can then apply those different signs to the different signs that I'm reading out. So your Venus sign might be very different than your Leo sign, and that's what's affecting your love life, and that's actually the place where you want to have the information. I'm trying to pull it out through your Leo sign, but it's rather difficult. You need to know your Venus placement to get the correct information about your love life. So your first sign is just your personality. Your second sign is dealing with your moon sign. That's your moon placement, it would be your second placement, and that is going to contend with your subconscious. So all the things that you do in your love life that you're like, what's going on in my life? I don't understand what's happening. And then your Venus is going to direct you exactly within your love life. Your Jupiter will maybe more direct you about your finances, or the men are more want to know about their love life with some of the Jupiterian energy, but it's definitely about Venus for sure. So you guys got to look at, like, if you're feminine, you might want to look at your Jupiter aspect for your money. So you have to know those different things. If you guys have difficulty with it, then you can message me later and just try to do it yourself, and then message me later. And you can get additional information from the reading. It's not just one sign that you're going to pay attention to, you know, and it gives you more of a broader aspect of what these angelic energies are really working with you about. So if you do have a little bit of time, take your time to do that. I don't know if I have it in this, but if I do have it in all my other videos, all the information about the natal charts and everything. So you can just go on there and get that information. If you can't find it though, let me know. All right, so we're going to go here into, we got a couple cards going on here. I'm way ahead of myself on the thing. So Virgo, Virgos, we have a situation going on here where we have the Tower. I just want to say one other thing about all the other signs. Pay attention to the different readings, because there may be a message for you if you don't know how to calculate that stuff. There may be other messages for you. Just pay attention intuitively. You're going to know if the message is for you or not. I feel that strongly. So we have the Tower of Destruction, but it's inverted. So the time of, I feel like the time of dealing with different, I feel like you've gone through a bunch of different relationships, to tell the truth here, Virgo. And the people who are dealing with that, that's a time, it's going to stop. I feel like you're going to, I feel like for the most part, Virgos, I'm not seeing very many single Virgos. They've met the person that they want to be with. And I'm sensing also here that it's a new, fairly new relationship for the people that are listening. So within this new relationship, this whole nonsense of what you've been through with relationships is over. You're no longer accepting the energy of that old, I feel like this toxic energy. And I'm also sensing some like old patterns of addiction, that sort of thing. That sort of stuff is contended with. I feel like you've got, if you guys have been contending with it, you've got that in check. You've pulled some strength out from inside and are dealing with that in particular and are pulling that out. So you've really cleaned up, Virgo, either people in your life who have had this sort of addiction thing, or what you are dealing with. You've cleaned it up in your own life. And so that has allowed you to go further into, I feel like you know, this card was just sitting out, and I feel like at this part of the reading here with Virgo, I feel like you've been through some very tough times. I feel like there's been some infidelity. I'm sensing with you're dealing with, and the infidelity I feel like is some Virgo, could be on your part. So it may have caused you some energies of dealing with guilt, but that's time to move past that, because I feel like here, Virgo, that whatever was going on in your life, you weren't being fulfilled in any way in sexually, and you really don't want to, you want to have a good sexual a relationship, a balanced one, but you know, you want fun, you want all those good things, but I feel like you've really contended with picking out some real negative energies within your own mind, and you're able to move forth with this positive relationship and put all of this negativity behind you. It's like, it feels like you've literally, like, I feel like the last little while of your life has been like this, you know, like destruction after destruction after destruction, but now it feels like it's coming to the tail end of that, and it's like done. And so you're really contending with a new relationship right at this time. And releasing all those. Don't go back to thinking the way you were thinking with those negative things, because it's going to spiral, I feel. So that's maybe a caution there for you, Virgo. Okay, so we're going to go into some Scorpion energy. We have the World. Oh, Scorpios. You've got a lot of good things coming in, peeps. That's so awesome, because I'm telling you, I feel like you guys, I feel the energy, and I feel like you guys have been going through a whole bunch of things. Oh my God. You got the World and you got the Wheel. Are you kidding me, Scorpio? Wow. So, a whole bunch of energies coming down here. I feel like, you know, those of you who are separated from your soulmate, you know who you want, and you're going to go right after it. You're done waiting. You're done going through all the different cycles. You've gone through every cycle you could possibly imagine, and you are going towards your soulmate, your single people. You know who you want to be with. That's what I'm sensing. For the most part, you've put aside. You didn't think you were good enough to be with that person, but you're going towards it. And the reason why is because you were stuck in a relationship that was not healthy for you, and you recognize it, and you've released it completely. I also feel like there's some you may have been dealing with the loss of a loved one. You may be dealing with the finances, estates, working with like contending with like money, estates, all those types of things coming in here, Scorpio. And so that's left not much room for soulmate energy. And now that you have, I feel like some of you Scorpios are going to be engaged. I feel engagement coming in here, and marriage, but like more like engagement, like talking, like saying, yes, this is what we want. I want to do this with you, and the other person agreeing with you. Yeah, that's what they want. They want it too. They miss you too. That's what I'm sensing very much here, Scorpio. That for those of you who are together, I am definitely sensing this is a very good time. You may renew your wedding vows. You may be, if you've been living together, you may actually get married. I feel like there's birth of children coming in, or talk about children coming in. There may be visits from grandkids if you're older. That's another thing I'm sensing here with Scorpio. I'm sensing some of you may be even getting a pet bird. I'm not really sure who is that coming in for, but that's coming in for also for future energies concerning pets are coming in. So you may be dealing with a lot of maybe you're feeding birds, or you're out in nature, or a lot where there's a lot of birds around. I'm also seeing like a vulture, so you must be out in nature here, Scorpio. So maybe a lot of you will be dealing with nature, or going out in nature with soulmate energy. So that's where your sexual power lays. I'm telling you, that's where your sexual power lays here, Scorpio, for sure. So we're going to go into the energy of Sagittarian now. Oh, I'm also, okay, you know what? I'm just going to say it. This is like really weird, but we're talking about sexual power here, but there's something about Scorpios that your partner, either if you're a woman, they just love your vajayjay. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. And if you're like a male, you love, or whatever, gender, whatever, I feel like it doesn't matter. But for the most part, you know, if you're male, you're Scorpio, you love your woman's vajayjay. It's like driving you nuts. And if you're a same-sex couple, I don't know about the whole male aspect. Maybe that doesn't apply, but for even same-sex genders, I'm sensing that strongly. Like they're my guys are like, you need to say it. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So there you go, Scorpio, for sure. So let's go into Sagittarian now. Hidden energies coming out. You know, for Sagittarians, I have been sensing for the last couple of months, there's a bunch of, oh yeah, wow, almost the whole deck fell out. Okay, so I'm not going to take all of them, but I will take what I feel. Yeah, the Queen of Chalices and the Magician. So it's going to leave those other cards. There's like 10 cards that fell out, but I'm sensing here that there is definitely hidden aspects of things. The moon, the full moon coming in for Sagittarians it's going to be a very special time for you. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of magic to be had. There's a lot of, and what I mean by that is, you know, if you're into magic, great, well, go ahead. But if you're not, I'm sensing some of you are. I feel like there is some workings that you're going to be mastering within this particular time. You really want to know certain things about your partner. I'm sensing, Sagittarian, that there's some suspicious energies that you have going on, and you're going to start to pull it out, and you're going to uncover, you're going to have presented to you, just by being in your own truth with things. I feel, Sagittarian, that you're going to be presented with truths, uncovered, hidden things that you had suspicion on, but you know, the suspicion energy here, I feel very strongly that you're correct, and it comes out. It comes out. You know it, and it comes out, and you're like, I knew that was what's going on. But I feel like some third-party energy here, Sagittarian. But at the same time, I feel like this person genuinely loves you. So I feel like some of you are dealing with people who are who have been cheating on you. That's what I'm feeling here, Sagittarian. So for the most part, you're dealing with third-party situations, and it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't feel like it's a very easy time, but you knew all along, and you knew things weren't right, and so you're moving out of that now, Sagittarian, for sure, is what I'm seeing. You're moving past that into a healthier relationship, but there may be some things to contend with. I'm also seeing another option in your life here, Sagittarian, being presented to you if you're single, that there's options. There's two other options for you at this time. I feel like one of them is not a bad option for you, but you may feel like, you know, you don't really know, you're testing the waters with things. And I'm sensing here that, you know how you're going to know, Sagittarian, for some reason, I feel like either you're sitting on their lap or they sit on yours. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but that's what they're telling me, so I'm going to relay it. And there's a sense of, with this hidden energy, Sagittarian, pardon me, that from it, you make a clear cut. Excuse me, I was going to get a drink. You make a clear cut from this third-party situation. You're no longer willing to engage in that. And if there's anything hidden, you're done. And I'm also sensing a sense here, Sagittarians, that you're dealing with respecting yourself within finances. So you are really standing up for yourself, Sagittarian, within that particular mode. So now I'm going to go into Capricorns. So let's see what the sexual energy is that they're contending with. And where their sexual power lays. Ten of Chalices. And the Two of Swords. So I am sensing here that there is I feel like around your work, if you are dealing with soulmate energy, it is where you are working that this energy is coming in. So you may meet someone at your work here, Capricorn, if that's what you're looking for. I'm sensing. I'm also sensing that a lot of Capricorns that I'm talking to right now, they're going to be a lot around like female friends, and the female friends are also an area of where you may meet. You might be out and where you may meet soulmate energy. Also, here I'm picking up Capricorns, that there's some situations with finances, and also I feel like if you're a woman, you may be dealing with somebody who I don't know if you are, I'm sensing same-sex couple, but I feel like the person that is approaching you, same-sex, they're interested in the same sex, and they want to be with you, but I don't feel like you are like that. And so you may be contending with that there, Capricorn, but you're still friends. There's nothing wrong. It's just an expression, I feel like, is coming out. So for those of you who, it sort of almost feels like, you know, you really need to speak your truth within that and know where the boundaries are and set those boundaries clearly. And whether it's same-sex or not, I feel like, you know, there's clear boundaries that are set. But for soulmate energy, you know, it may be difficult for some people. They may feel like that. I feel like there's somebody who may be a little obsessive over you, actually, even. And it doesn't have to be the same sex, but I'm sort of sensing that. If it's not, then it's not. So take it as it resonates, because it's a general reading. So, I mean, I'm reading for a whole bunch of people, so that's the way it contends. But I feel like it's sort of like that is what you might be contending with this week. And, you know, you're just very kind about it, but you're very clear about it as well. So I feel like there's people who are approaching you and you're turning them down here for the most part. I'm also sensing that if you're with a partner, they may be wanting that as well. So there's quite a few different signs that people are dealing with that kind of energy. And you know, there's nothing wrong with experimenting with all that. There may be some sexual energy that revives your relationship, but there's always caution within that. You know, make sure your energy is stable before you're experimenting with all those types of energies. You know, you may, but I feel like for the most part, it's not really your bag, you know, and you turn that energy down. And your concentration here is more on, I feel like opposite sex marriage energy is what I'm sensing here. But you know, also Capricorn, I'm sensing that you're kind of reserved about the marriage situation. You may want to be, you know, more just like a committed relationship, but build it as it goes. We just finished Scorpio, so if you rewind a little bit, you'll go back to Scorpio. But thanks for joining us, Shelley. And there's a collective reading in the beginning as well that may make sense as you guys go on here. So right now I'm dealing with Capricorn and then Aquarius. So we have the Eight of Swords. And we're dealing with the energy of sexual power, and basically each individual sign is getting where their sexual power lays and how they can move through different things. So we just went through some energy with Scorpio, and I think that with Scorpio there was really good information and positive energies coming towards you. So that was quite good for Scorpio. I'll go back and have a listen. Here with Aquarius, I'm sensing the energy of a couple of things. The first thing in the Eight of Swords, I'm sensing that there is someone at work that is giving you trouble. But I'm also sensing there is some interest expressed at you at work, but you're kind of pushing it away. For the most part here, Aquarius, it's not people who you're really interested in, but a couple of people who you're interested in have caught your eye. I feel like you are going to move into maybe possibly dating some of those people there, Scorpio. But I'm going to tell you to be cautious, because I don't feel like it's a good thing. I feel like being around family right now here is more sensing the energy of that. So for you singles, you know, if you're around your family this, I feel like holiday weekend, coming in over the holiday weekend, you may be meeting someone in that, and like there may be, like, you may be doing a family event. That's what I'm sensing here. And that is where you may be working with, where you need to work. That's maybe where you'll be meeting your soulmate. And they seem to have a child, I feel, as well, that's important to them. So your partner may come up with they have a child, and there also may be within your family like children, lots of children around. I'm sensing like children are important for some reason at this time to you here. So maybe the energy is coming through children, but should be cautious, I feel, of people talking. I feel like there's like talk behind your back as well here, so be cautious of that too. There's a little bit of that energy going on, like so just watch what people are showing you are not, is not quite it's not quite you know, I feel like on the up and up. Just watch a little bit here right now. Okay, so we're going to move into go into Pisces here. So the card that popped up for Pisces is the Ten of Swords energy, so I'll just hold that up for now. You know, I'm sensing a lot of things coming down on you, Pisces. There may be some real, like, I feel real, like, things, gossip also, same like Aquarius a little bit, but I feel like gossip around you is very hurtful as well. You may be dealing with aspects of depression, some anxiety, I feel a little bit going on here. I feel like it's towards action you must take, but you don't know what to do. I feel like you want to take action, but you don't know what to do here, Pisces. And we have the Nine of Wands on top of it. So I feel like there here, Pisces, that you're dealing with somebody who is behind the scenes, who is trying to cause drama, talking, creating gossipy energy. I'm not sure who this is in relation to, but I feel like someone who's important to you, they're talking to you, and they are using your faults against you. They're using your faults against you towards this other person. They're twisting your words. They're twisting your things. That's what I'm sensing. Just be cautious. Be cautious this week here, Pisces, because that's pretty malicious energy I'm feeling here. So I think maybe your power is to know where this is coming from. And so I feel like this is about, like, you're protecting somebody, possibly your partner here. I feel like maybe that's what it is. There may be gossip about you maybe having a new partner. You may be dealing with an ex, and there's a lot of gossip about that. And you have a new partner that you truly love, and you're trying to make this, you know, relationship go. I feel like maybe integration of children, that sort of thing. I also feel like this energy here coming in, you're being watched over right now. You know, I'm not sure if the person you're with is good, is the person for you, but I feel like it's a loving relationship, and it's going to be in your life for a little while here, Pisces. And I just feel like there's energy coming in where you need to be cautious. You need to be really cautious as well. Same a little bit like with Aquarius, interesting energy, but it's like you're looking towards where you need to be here, Pisces, but you're not quite pulling yourself away enough from this. I feel like a past relationship. I feel like you're contending with a past relationship for sure. And this is maybe where where I'm sensing the gossip is coming from. So that doesn't feel very good, but the other part of it is that you have the power to overcome it. I'm also sensing maybe a move, maybe someone's trying to stop you from moving. Also here, you know, you may be coming into, you know, also dealing with these other energies from the sexual tarot magic cards, and dealing with the longing. You may be looking back and saying, look, I've you know, had a situation where I was in love before, but it went sour, and I feel like this other person really went sour on you, and now you're contending with all of that, and you don't want that again. So you're a little cautious with this new relationship and protective, but it's time to like really release that old energy. That's what I'm sensing here, Pisces, for sure. So I want to pull out some romance angels for, actually, yeah, I'll pull out the romance angels for dealing with how we can pull out a little bit more positive energy on this sexual energy aspect for all of us in the collective. Whoop. All right. Stay optimistic. So there's our message collectively, that no matter what we're going through, you know, even with all of these different energies that we're weeding out, that we talked about, that may seem a little bit on the negative side, we want to be concentrating on all of these positive aspects. So when we have a move, I feel like in the beginning of the first day here we got going on here, I feel like, it's not very close, can't quite see it. I feel like the energy of movement, of having romance in and along, and appreciating all the different processes that you need to go through your week is really important. I'm also sensing that being optimistic about your new journey, whoops, I keep doing this backwards, optimistic about your new journey is extremely important also, to be optimistic about this. Dealing with this sexual energy of dominance and power and control, I feel like the magical energies are going to balance this out as well through the week, to keeping the positive things and releasing that old energy. So if you feel that energy come on of other people dominating, then I feel like that's the time that your thinking needs to keep absolutely positive. And that way, when you think the good thoughts, the manifestation will come into that easier, balanced energy, and you're going to be able to go through that energy and have that come into balance by the end of the week. I feel like this melancholy energy also it needs to be released, and concentrating on the energies of what you have. So that's the energy that I'm sensing coming in for everybody for this week, and down in from the dream time. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And we'll see you again next week. And if you have a chance to, on Sunday, to tune in, I'm going to be doing another segment of divining at 11 on Sunday in the morning, and then a Sunday 11 at night. So I hope that you have enjoyed all that, and we'll talk to you again, and we'll see you. Bye for now, everyone.